Regardless, she takes the stand. There's a conflict of interest. Now, this is the part that kills me. Not that she's done a thing that creates a problem. We're human. We make mistakes. But the same people who condemn Donald Trump for the things that he's doing is saying that she is in her rights. BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so So apparently, Fani Willis, the lady that's in charge of the Donald Trump prosecution that has to deal with the improprieties regarding whatever the hell was happening when he was like, this election is rigged, is now taking the stand herself to defend herself against the accusations of her own improprieties involving his prosecution. Okay. Now, I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. Someone deciding that they want to date someone inside of their field, there is zero wrong with that. I just want to be clear. Someone deciding, hey, I think that you sexy. You think that I'm sexy. Let's touch our private parts together. That's all adult business, and that's no one else's business. I just want to be clear about this, because I think many times when people have been speaking about this, the individuals who are on Fani Willis's side, no matter how non-biased the individuals are that's speaking on this, they tend to say, oh man, you just a Trump supporters, so you over here is you trying to make her look bad. No! She has done that herself. I want to be clear about this. I am not saying that she is doing anything wrong by trying to prosecute Trump on something that she might honestly believe that he did wrong. But I also want to be clear on this. As far as we can tell, she is the only DA in her area that is even willing to take this case. Now, the reason why I want to point that out is because there are individuals that saying that Trump himself is just, they trying to railroads their guys over the years. So there are people that believe that, and being as far as we can tell, the way they made it sound when she initially started this inquiry into the investigation regarding his behavior, it was said she's the only one that's willing to do it. I want to be clear about this. That's one of the things that they were trying to big up her for, to make her seem, I'm not saying she isn't, but to make her seem like, she is this stalwart for justice and liberty. And Donald Trump is trying to infringe on those things, so she's going to put an end to it. I just want to be clear about this. So she takes the stand because they're asking her about monies that went from her to an individual who she put on the case. Now, I also see, this is a couple of things that I don't think people are necessarily getting. He doesn't work for her. He's an out of house lawyer. His lawyering, he works somewhere else. She went and got a lawyer that does not work in her office to carry this case or to be a part of this case. That also lends to the idea that there are people in her office that might not want to prosecute Donald Trump. Why have I led this video off by saying this? Basically, there are quite a few people that believe that if she is removed from this particular case, that Donald Trump, the whole case is going to fall apart, basically. That he's not even going to be prosecuted for something that some people think that is an impropriety that he did incorrectly. Now, and I want to be clear about this. When you go into a court of law and you're talking about whether something is a conflict of interest and not, something being of a conflict of interest will just ring the appeal bell. So for the people that want Trump to be prosecuted, you should literally want her off the case. You think Trump is guilty. You believe that he's done something that is prosecutable, that can be prosecuted. You should want her off the case, because at this point, this is going to be the main thing that's going to be spoken about. If you don't think during the trial that the defense counsel isn't going to isn't going to ask questions of individuals that are going to make it seem like her being a part of this case is nothing but a witch hunt against Trump, and all they have to do is convince a couple of peepers. So all they got to do is look a little bit like what they saying it look like. You should want her off the case. The reason why they don't want her off the case is because there might not be anybody else that's willing to prosecute him down there for this. Now, if we're to go off of what the Democrats said when she first got onto the case. Now, what's been the problem? She's dating some dude that is not in-house. He's from a whole nother place. She brought him in. He's part of the team that's prosecuting Trump. And she's been sleeping with him. Now, he's still legally married to somebody else, whatever. He said that marriage has been over since 2015. There are a lot of people who are married legally, but they're not actually in a relationship anymore, and they have moved on. They just haven't gotten the divorce yet, for whatever the reason might be. So we're not going to stand here and say she's cheating with a married man. As far as him and his wife is concerned, is from what we've been hearing, the marriage is over. And I haven't seen her come out and say, that nigga lying, he was here last night. I haven't seen her say that. So we have to kind of go off of the information that we currently have regarding that. So I say that to say this. She takes the stand. She's extremely, I'm not going to say belligerent, but defiant. She's not really answering some of the questions, at least from what I've seen. And it seemed like she was deflecting a lot. So I don't know how you want to accept the information. I don't know how anybody else wants to accept the information. But I believe that if you are a person that genuinely wants Trump to be prosecuted and you believe that he's done something wrong, you should want her off the case. You should say, yo, look, you did a great job so far. We love you. Thanks for getting it going where it's at. But at this point, us moving further with you, it's going to cause a problem further on down the line, a little bit further down the line. And, you know, this is in the bag. Thank you very much for what you did, but your services are no longer needed. There are other people. You're doing that young thug thing right now, right? Just pay attention to that. We got some other stuff going on over here. We're going to keep you busy. I think that and I'm not saying Trump isn't guilty. Let's be clear on this. But if what is happening was so open and shut, if the case against Trump was so open and shut, I don't see any reason why she shouldn't just excuse herself and allow for somebody else to do it. It seems to me like this case might not be open and shut. Now, an argument can be made. She wants to stay on the case because it's going to make a career. Let's just be honest with you. This is a career-making case. Just like the Young Thug case is a career-making case. So she might just want to stay on because it's a career-making case. But some people have another theory. And that theory is this. If Trump makes it back into the office, a lot of the people who have decided to be his enemies, yeah, you guys is going to get it. Trump threatened his first run as president. Trump threatened to prosecute people, but at the end of the day, he didn't follow through with it. I don't think that was weakness. I think that was just having a big heart. I don't think that was weakness. And for anybody that's going to be like, Trump don't got no heart, go check out who bankrolled most of, if not most of, Jesse Jackson's presidential run in the 80s. All right. I want you to go and look at young Donald Trump. I want you to go look at a lot of the photos of a young Donald Trump. And obviously, I'm saying, back in the 80s and 90s or whatever. Early 90s, late 80s, Donald Trump hung out at a lot of black venues. Now, for the people that's saying he just wanted to hang out with black folk, no, that means that his money was there. If you go look at newspapers from the late 80s, from the 80s period, just to be honest with you, and the early 90s, Donald Trump was on the front page all the time. And the majority of the time he was on the front page, he was standing next to black people. He was standing next to people of color. So this whole Trump is a racist thing, it started with the Central Park Five, but it didn't really kick in until he stopped being a Democrat. Once he stopped being a Democrat, all of the Democrats attacked him. Because, once he stopped being a Democrat, what happened? He's not raising money for them no more. And for anybody that says that Trump can't raise money, how the hell do you think he became president? Why the heck do you think all of these Republicans now, even the ones that don't like him, don't really want to say they don't like him? Because he's a big money raiser. So with that being said, I think they should just remove Fani Willis. I mean, I'm not saying remove her so Trump could get off. I'm saying if y'all sincerely believe that this case is so open and shut like they make it sound, I think you should just give it to somebody else. Because at the end of the day, this has a pill written all over it. And for any of the individuals that want Trump to be prosecuted, the last thing you want to do is leave room for an appeal. Like, comment, subscribes. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Boomers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.